Want me to spell your name correctly? Fair game. This story took place quite a while ago, but something reminded me of it and I thought I'd share. I was working remotely in a company with coworkers from all over the world, and the culture there was actually quite nice. I really enjoyed everyone I got in contact with. In all my time there I'd never experienced any bad blood between anyone. To put simply, everyone was very understanding of each other and open-minded. Enter a guy who I'll call Jose for simplicity. You see, Jose had a special character in his name. Something that I'd noticed but never really addressed because why would I? When emailing him, tagging him in different places, etc. His name obviously didn't carry that special character, but he still used it on our messaging platform. One day, I needed to send him a private message and I started off with a simple, "Hey Jose." Single quote. He did mention that he'd like me to spell his name correctly. And I honestly thought it was all in good fun. But I explained that I'd never used that character before in writing. My keyboard wasn't set up for it, etc. I thought that was the end of that. But apparently no. I wasn't immediately pulled aside by a higher-up. But during a one-to-one meeting later on I was told I should be mindful of people's names. I could tell that the person delivering this news wasn't thrilled about it. But the issue had been escalated nonetheless. So they had to remind me. I thought nothing of it since I had very little to do with Jose anyway. But, lo and behold, a couple of months later I had to message him again. This time in a group setting. After a little back and forth I thanked everyone individually for their input, and because I'd forgotten about the name incident before, I simply said, "Thank you, Jose." You can imagine that during my next one-to-one, this issue was brought up again. This time I was a little miffed. But I said, "You know what? You're right. I'm clearly in the wrong here. Cue malicious compliance. You see, my name also has a special character. But it's not a frequently seen one since I'm from an Eastern European country. Safe to say that nobody else in the company even knew of its existence." I'd also assured people that they can call me by my English name, which is much easier to pronounce. Well, not anymore. During that same one-to-one I told my higher-up that I now expect everyone to call me by my correct name. Special character and all. Would you be surprised if I told you that Jose was one of the first to complain that my special character isn't easily accessible on his keyboards? He actually had the audacity to contact me privately to complain that his name was a special case, since it's more widely used. And the special character is well known, whereas mine isn't. And I shouldn't feel special about it. To make matters worse, the next times I had to write down his name. And I made sure I did it often. I didn't actually type it down and instead copied and pasted it from Google. And it would always, without fail, paste the Wikipedia article about his name too. So my messages looked clunky as all hell. Nobody judged me for it. And Jose avoided me like the plague whenever he could. Trouble was, he needed me more than I needed him. So he was forced to suffer by writing out my name properly far more often than I guess he expected. Edit cause someone mentioned my name might actually be relevant to the story. It's Stefania edit number 2. I'd also like to point out that me and Jose were not the only people with special characters in our names. During calls we all took great care of pronouncing everyone's name as they wanted us to. But in writing, everyone was very lax. There is one person in my life who I really wish would have spelled my name correctly. The person who typed up my birth certificate. Not even an issue with a special character. Just a typo. Someday I'll get it fixed, but currently half the government thinks my name is one thing and half think it's another based on how closely they looked at my paperwork when they first saw me. I would have called him Yosh and #X3E9 and been done with it. Well, great story and all, but kinda need to know your name and this special character for it to really make sense why it's so much more difficult. But, well done anyway. I would have referred to him from that point onward by his last name. Hello, Mr. Anderson. Would you mind sending your TPS reports to Paula by 11 a.m.? Quote, Dear Stefania, would you be willing to enlighten us? I have searched and searched online for the sequence of keys that will produce the schema. That's what Wikipedia calls it. That begins your first name. I can type Jose. Hold down Alt. Type 0233 on the number pad. No problem. And there are lots of charts that explain other common accents. But yours has me well and truly stumped. For those of us of goodwill, who would like to be able to call people by the preferred version of their names? Could you please tell us what to type in order to display the true first letter of your name? Many thanks. Q. Or Chem. Or the whole thing if you like. Any is fine with me. P.S. Yes. Of course I copied and pasted your name from your comment. Thanks for that. But your comment won't always be around. And a nice alt sequence, if it exists, should be more portable. There was a gal at my current job. Her name is Sharon, with the back quote above the but in US keyboard and on her nameplate it's just Sharon. So on a web call I said Sharon. She was very vocal about me having mispronounced it in the web meeting and made sure we all knew it was pronounced Sharon. So when we left the meeting there was an occasion for her to say my name and mispronounced it. Lived with it my whole life and is no big deal until this meeting. My name is Colleen and I use the Irish pronunciation, not the hillbilly pronunciation. I felt the need to correct her and stated, it's pronounced Colleen, not Celian, B. TCH. My ex had a special character in her name. Accented O. Oh. She did not get upset that it was written without the accent in the USA. I would have sent a text file containing only my special character. Good for you. My name starts with capital I, so I am happy if people at least do not write L. The last name also has a special symbol letter. But because no one was difficult to me about correct symbols usage, I didn't request it as well. My only request is to use capital I, rather than trying to convert to L. Well, my name sounds quite feminine. So many times people address me as Miss when I literally put Mr. behind my name. Person shrugging. Nice say. Well, I have a voice here. I have worked abroad and still work with people from USA and my name has a special character. Wow. So, from my large experience in life and work I can confidently say that Jose is a dick. Why didn't you just spell his name like Jose? Stefania nice winking face. Bugger Jose, or if I must, Jose. Petty compliance. Living where I do, with lots of Hispanic words. I've learned to keep a list of alt codes for characters that my keyboard doesn't have. So, to use your example, Jose would be Yoshald 0233. Command key 0233 on a Mac. To get Jose. However, that's just for personal messages and emails. In many government databases, our mail server, etc., that special character won't be there. Because not everyone knows how to type it. And if it were to be used in the data, searching Jose wouldn't return anything. Aren't you using the character in this post? Why not just do that? I am fanatical about names. My own has been mispronounced in more ways you'd think was possible. Once a pharmacy tech called me Denim. The only letter from my name is D. And I used to hate it because no one can get it right the first time. Some people have never gotten it right, despite knowing me for years. Now, I love it, and I've reached a sort of zen about how people pronounce it. But it taught me two things. 1. My acceptance for what other people call me only applies to me and is not to be expected of others. And 2. The quickest way to make a friend of someone who has a similarly different name is to go out of my way to ensure I'm saying and typing it correctly. I've struggled with people spelling my name. Honestly, I've just gotten to the point I know no one is ever going to spell my name right unless they know me well. My mother was a middle daughter of an immigrant from Sweden. Grandma H. had a heavy Swedish accent. Mum's name among the family was Alice. Among friends, Jackie. But, according to her BC, she was named Ellis. Considered a boy's name. She never got it fixed. I think because of the possibility of a charge to do so.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.